I had to come out to Tennessee to see this. I'm one of the first people to see it, and so are you. This is the 2025 Ford Bronco Sport. Now, you might have thought of the Ford Bronco Sport as just sort of a fancy SUV. It doesn't really do all the things that the Bronco does, but that is no longer the case. In fact, Ford modified the Bronco Sport and competed in the Rebelle Rally 3 years in a row, and they won their class every time. And then they went and they talked to customers who were modifying the Bronco Sport, who were adding on equipment, who were adding accessories and making it much more off-road capable. And they decided, you know what, they're doing a great job, this is what people want, let's do it. So Ford added a lot of equipment, they added a lot of features, and then they updated it with some really premium features on the inside to give the 2025 Ford Bronco Sport a whole new look and feel. Let's talk about 2025 and what you're going to see on the Ford Bronco Sport if you get the Sasquatch package and the upgrades for off-roading, because there are 4 tow hooks or recovery points. There's 2 on the rear, and check this out. This is full metal. I would bash my ring against it to make noise, but you don't want me to do that because I'll break my ring. This is real steel. There are actually 4 skid plates on this car, and that's because it's designed for off-roading. Then it has this little detail, which I love. This is a tie-down hook. It's actually embedded here in the side. The Bronco has a tie-down hook on the hood, but this is designed right here in the side. It just sits right there, but if you've got something up on the roof and you need to secure it, you can secure it with that. And they stuck it out like this so that it won't scratch your paint, which I think is kind of a thoughtful detail. On the front, we'll see there is a brush bar. This is part of the Sasquatch package. So you'll see this on a lot of these Bronco Sports for 2025. And this skid plate here, they call it a bash plate. You could call it whatever you want, but you're not going to believe this. This is really a cool detail. So not only is this a brush bar, but that also is a recovery hook. So you can use this if you need to winch something or pull somebody out of the mud or be pulled out of the mud. You have those recovery hooks there, and they actually are attached into the frame of the car rather than just the bumper, which is a nice detail. So these little guys right here are called Bronco Bolts, and you might actually be able to see that they are Bronco branded. So these are designed to be removed, so you can add things there. So if you need to add something with 4 bolts there, you can do that. There's a bolt over here, and throughout the car you'll find even more Bronco bolts that allow you to take those bolts out and add whatever accessories you want or need. In addition to all of the off-road details, the skid plates and those sort of things, they also developed some special tires in conjunction with Goodyear, and then they added special shock absorbers and some technology under the hood. So there is trail drive mode and there's one pedal driving, which means when you're out on the trail, all you do is adjust your pressure on the accelerator. You don't have to go back and forth between the brake and the accelerator. If you've ever driven like that off-road, or if you've ever driven an electric car, you know what this is and you know how good it is. We are going to hop into the Bronco Sport. We're going to take a little test drive. I'm going to show you exactly how it can climb over rocks. We just did that. And I'm going to take you through the interior to show you what the 2025 Ford Bronco Sport is all about. Oh my goodness, look at that. All right guys, can you see this? Look at that. Wow, look at that. And my instinct is to grab my phone and take a photo with it, but I can't do that. Wow.
Yeah, so with the off-road mode, you'll see it there in the cluster, but you have the 4-wheel drive lock already engaged. So that's an automatic feature that'll come on with off-road.
Okay, so this track will be part of the Off-Roadeo experience when that is built out by October. Is that true?
That's correct. So the off-road mode is the new 2025 model year. Mm-hmm. With learnings from customer feedback, we understood that we had some before that were mud and ruts and sand and slippery and some of the different ones. And customers gave feedback that they weren't always sure what mode to be in when they were out on the trail.
Right.
So we kind of consolidated that into off-road, and it's like,
Yeah.
hey, you're off-road, you're in off-road mode.
I like it. I like
and then
it.
you have rally, which is kind of like a higher speed sand off-road
That's
as
my
well.
favorite. That's my favorite.
And then you also have rock crawl, which is carryover from the previous Batman model.
Right. There is nothing like being out here when the wind is blowing, the sun is shining. It feels so good. And that's one of the things that Ford wants you to appreciate. And that's why they've created these SUVs that can follow any trail and take you to a place like this. They partner with a company called Tread Lightly that is helping consumers and helping auto companies and helping others to stay on the trail and leave no sign behind of what you pack in, pack out, and leave nature in a pristine condition. And that is the beauty of being able to off-road. We are outside Knoxville, Tennessee, this really beautiful lake, but I want to show you this. So it looks sort of like a summer camp. It has that really beautiful built into nature look to it. This is the base camp for the Bronco Off-Roadeo. And the best news about the Bronco Off-Roadeo base camp is if you buy a Bronco Sport, or Bronco Raptor, you get to come here one day of learning to off-road with a pro driver, a trail guide in their Bronco, so you get to learn all the buttons and the controls and what everything does. You'll learn about accessories, you'll learn about equipment, you'll learn to winch, you'll learn to do all of those things that you want and need to know, and you get that just by buying a Bronco. You have to get yourself here. They don't include travel, but once you're here, everything else is included, and I can tell you I've done it. It's so worth it. I'm going the right way. Ah!
You're okay.
Whoa! Oh my God. I don't know why you let me do that.
It's fun.
You have a lot of
and
faith.
you'll have a couple of bumps here. Yeah. So yeah, really feeling that suspension and absorb some of those bumps.
Now I want to show you guys here. So there's water over here on this side and dry, and then dry, muddy, and water, and it goes like this. So when you see the camera doing this, that's not the camera, that is the car. And this is another one.
Straight. And feel that tire lift in the back, so you're on 3 wheels right now.
Yes.
And then slow, and then you're gonna teeter back. Right, just like a little. There you go.
Oh my God, really?
Oh yeah. Coming back. And there's your skid plates.
Whoa! Raul gave me a Bronco Off-Roadeo sticker. Thank you. Bringing the Ford Bronco Sport into the modern era was the goal, but it gets better than that. So we have a huge multimedia screen here, a large driver display here, a wireless charge pad right there. There are USB ports. Our drive mode dial is here, and our GOAT modes are right here. GOAT means goes over all things, all terrains, and that means that whatever it is that's ahead of you, you should be able to get over it. Now you're not going to drive over a tall tree, but you can drive over anything that's not going to completely inhibit the car, like tree stumps and things like that. Of course, you don't want to drive over those. But if you want to drive over a rocky surface or a gravel road or a grassy field or almost 24 inches of water, the Ford Bronco Sport can do that. We have a parking and we have brake hold right there. And then these are our GOAT modes. And this you can lock that rear axle. You can turn on or off your traction control. Then this is your one pedal drive mode. So when I tap this, I will see one pedal drive is active. That's telling me I have the door open. And trail control with one pedal drive off. So it toggles between one pedal drive and trail control. And then here's where I can lock, and here I can lock all 4 wheels for true 4-wheel drive. As I turn the dial, it toggles through the different modes. So there's normal, slippery, eco, sport, off-road, rally, rock crawl. So those are all the GOAT modes. That really gives you, I have to say, I'm kind of shocked at rock crawl, because this is not a vehicle that you think about for rock crawl. This is a vehicle that you think about more for like sport, eco, slippery, wet conditions. Rally is designed for fast driving. So this is driving in the sand or driving on through a grassy field or on trails, on gravel trails. That's really what that's for. This is Ford's Sync 4 system. So it gives you, this one clearly has heated seats, which is pretty nice, but you have all of the capability that Ford has had in its systems for this version of Sync 4. So all of those capabilities, including navigation, audio, phone, vehicle features, all of those things you're going to find right in here. And that's a good one. Let's talk about driver assistance, because not only do you have towing and all the things that we're used to, but we also have adaptive cruise. We have the whole Co-Pilot 360 system that Ford has rolled out, blind spot, traffic alert, and all of that. So lots of great features here on this multimedia system that has been completely updated for 2025. There is the Bronco here. Here are our drive assist features here, and then our entertainment features here. If you just want to grab the camera view there, you just tap that button, and here is your camera view. And still, just like when it comes up automatically, you can adjust your view by tapping this menu here. This gives you the opportunity to look at a particular corner. So if you want to get a close-up on that rear right corner, there you go. If you want to look at what the trajectory is forward or the trajectory behind the car, you can tap that as well. You can turn on or off your sensor notifications there too. So this is not going to, if you turn that off, it's not going to beep at you when you're getting close to hitting something, which is pretty nice. Right here behind the multimedia screen, there also is a bin where you can stow things, but notice that there are Bronco bolts here as well. There's 2 USB ports, which is great if you want to plug in your phone there. But these Bronco bolts will come out and allow you to attach a piece of equipment. So say a GoPro camera or a geo map, a GPS or a GPS unit if you need that, or whatever it is you might need, you can add there. Another thing that you can add are these. So there are 4 auxiliary tabs here, and if you want to add, say, exterior lights, or you want to add an air compressor, the under the hood, the Bronco Sport is pre-wired, so anything that you add, you can access really quickly and easily with these auxiliary buttons. Let's do trail control.
So you have you come to a stop.
Okay.
And then, so down here you have this button that looks like a little cup. So it's going to be similar to cruise control where you use that left side of your steering wheel. And then if you just flick upwards on that reset button, that's going to...
Okay, and that's like how many miles per hour?
Yep, so I would set to probably 2 or 3, just so you get the feel of it as we go down. So maybe if you're a less experienced off-road driver, right, as you go over either up or down over an obstacle, this gives you the opportunity to really focus on where your wheels are pointing, where you're driving, versus, you know, 2-pedal driving, trying to get on the brake and the gas and all that stuff. It really takes all that out of the equation and lets the vehicle drive for you, right?
Look at this mud.
So yeah, this is gonna, you'll feel it kind of, you know, squeezes your back in here, but it's just getting the ride.
Yeah. Whoa, look at that. Okay, that's pretty good. So I'm going to show you guys, watch this. So I'm trying, I don't want him to hit me, but I'm going to just pull my foot off the accelerator. I did not use the brake at all. That was just the accelerator. That's kind of crazy. If you've spent time in the Ford Bronco Sport in the past, a lot of this will feel familiar in the rear seat, but some really good features. So I just want to show you everything. First of all, these seats, there are a vinyl, but they feel like leather. They're really beautiful. There's a nice little pouch here that zips that you can stow things in, and it zippers so they'll stay dry and clean. There is this lattice of nylon straps here, so you can put things like a phone cord or a pencil or, you know, everything you need for your homework you could put right in there. There's also a fold down armrest here. There's under seat storage right here. And then there's this, and this is what's new for 2025, and that is a household outlet and 2 USB ports. So whoever needs to plug in a computer or plug in whatever equipment it is, you now have a household outlet. And then of course there are air vents right here, and all-weather floor mats, which are a smart idea, especially if you are going off-road. The rear seats in the Ford Bronco Sport are not huge. This is set for me. I'm 5'8", so I do have space, but not a ton of space. This seat is pushed a little further forward. There is a sunroof here. There is a nice indented ceiling here, so taller passengers or kids who are elevated in a kid's car seat are going to feel very comfortable back here. There's a lot of headroom. It says glass, that says door. We're going to open the door. And then here is the tailgate. Oh, you can use this to lock that if you want to lock it in place. You can put this up. Here is our yardstick. And then these are the legs that pop out for the table. If you wanted to pull that out and use that as a table. Most of the features that we've showed you are available either in the Sasquatch package or in one of the trims, and it is an addition to $2,500 to $3,500 or so. Ford hasn't released pricing yet. They will do that closer to the on sale date, which will be later this year. Included though in that sale price is a day at the Ford Bronco Off-Roadeo. This is the 5th. We're here in Tennessee at the location of the 5th Bronco Off-Roadeo, and you'll be able to come out and drive that Bronco Sport, learn what all the switches do, learn how to use all the modes, go through all the things that we just went through, which were kind of crazy, I have to say, and be able to really learn how to use your Bronco Sport. But the best part is you'll drive their Bronco Sport, not your brand new $30,000 to $50,000 Bronco Sport SUV. I hope that we'll get a chance to go out on that off-road trail. I've done some of their other off-rodeo trails, and it's impressive. It's a great chance to learn from a pro, learn what your car can do, and learn to live that true Bronco life.